Were people in the Old Testament saved by the Old Covenant? Is anybody saved by the Old Covenant? The idea that I will, who delivers, what human is involved in delivering the Old Covenant? Moses, right? Listen to what Moses says. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. He always knew that it was something that happened in the heart. Even though they had the signs and the symbols and the ceremonies and the feasts and things that were all portraying the Old Covenant, they were symbolic of the true. Abraham believed God and it was counted him for righteousness. They were saved by the New Covenant. Now, we're going on further. Go to Galatians 4:26. And it says, "But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all." Now, I've heard all kinds of interesting exposés on what that means. Someone's going to read for me Hebrews 12:22 in just a moment. I'll start out by reading. What is he talking about? Jerusalem, which is above, is free, the mother of us all. Look in Colossians chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. "If then you have been raised with Christ, seek those things that are above, where Christ is seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on the things that are above, not on the things of the earth." So when it talks about the Jerusalem which is above, go ahead, read for me Hebrews 12:22.
"But you have come to Mount Zion, and to the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, to an innumerable company of angels."
Now, most of the time when I say the New Jerusalem, what book in the Bible do you go to? You go to Revelation, the last book in the Bible, where we hear about the New Jerusalem coming down from God. But for the Jews in Paul's day, was the idea of a spiritual Jerusalem a new concept, or did they understand that? When the Bible says that he looked for a city that had foundations, whose builder and maker is God, he wasn't looking for the earthly Jerusalem. He was looking for the heavenly Jerusalem. When Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is at hand," did that kingdom have a capital? It's the New Jerusalem. Why does he contrast the new and the old Jerusalem? And don't miss what it's saying here in Galatians. He says, "For the Jerusalem that now is under bondage." When Paul wrote that, what flag flew above Jerusalem? Was it a Hebrew flag? Or was it a Roman flag? Even the literal Jerusalem was occupied during that time. So they all looked for the new kingdom, the Messiah's kingdom, the heavenly Jerusalem, they called it. And so he's just basically saying you need to think about the spiritual side of these things.